morning, this is JHS Weekly. I'm Alex Hunt.
And I'm Kendall Lewis. JHS White Eagle shirts are for sale down in Eagle Alley for $5. Make sure to wear them Friday night to support our team.
Attention artists, are you needing more time to work on artwork either for class or for fun? Do you want to learn about drawing, painting, sculpture, or photography? You should check out Open Art Studio, which is held after school every Tuesday in room B201, every Wednesday in room B215, and every Thursday in room B218. You don't have to be in an art class to attend.
The first year of high school can be an overwhelming experience. Sam Walker interviewed some seniors that had some advice for the freshmen.
High school can be a really intimidating experience. From new teachers, classes, and even a new building, it can be a lot to take in. Freshmen may need some advice, and who better to give it than this year's seniors? Senior Mallory Cravens is involved in orchestra and is also the student body vice president. She urges that freshmen get involved.
I regret not getting involved sooner because I didn't join a lot of the clubs until going into my junior year. So it helps you enjoy your time at the high school, and it lets you have a lot of memories to look back on, which is nice.
Senior Jacob Jones is involved in Spyglass, is the online editor for Eagle Alley, is in debate, constitution team, and Model United Nations. He advises that students don't fall into bad habits when it comes to their schoolwork.
My advice for freshmen would be to keep track of your own activities, keep track of yourself, not only in terms of what you're doing in school, but what you're doing out of school, and kind of make sure that you are in control of your life at all times, because a lot of the time you can just totally lose track of what you're doing, and you end up getting lost, or you end up messing something up, or you end up this or that. And I think a big thing is just keeping track of your own kind of life and your own kind of sense of self, and not losing that throughout your time in high school.
Senior Maurice Auberry, who is involved in football, baseball, and National Honor Society, has some special advice for student athletes.
If you are a student athlete, for example, if you play a winter or spring sport, always try to get caught up on your classes beforehand, before your season starts. So then you're not in a hole already. So go in, don't get all your assignments done, don't start late, because once you get your season rolling and you're missing class a bunch, the last thing you want is not only a sporting event, but then have to stay up till 3 in the morning doing homework. So always try to give yourself a good start before your season starts.
If freshmen are looking for a great school year, getting involved, staying on top of their grades, and not procrastinating seems to be a great place to start. Reporting for JET-HD, I'm Samantha Walker.
Thanks, Sam.
If you have ever wanted to try to tell a story with pictures in the form of comics or manga, then you might enjoy the JHS Cartoonist Club. Come and learn how to improve your storytelling and drawing skills and how to publish your own comics. New members interested in joining Cartoonist Club need to get an application from Mr. Wolf in room B201 or at Club Fest today, and return it completed by Tuesday, September 4th to be considered.
Anyone interested in doing the ACT Math Prep course after school should go to a short information meeting on Wednesday, September 5th, right after school in Mr. Whitney's room, D206.
Many of you may have noticed we have a new head principal in the building. Zoe Baker brings us a new staff spotlight.
Joplin High School welcomed a new head principal over the summer.
Hi, I'm Dr. Shane Hopper. I'm the building principal at Joplin High School. I've been on board here for the last couple of 3 months, and I'm super excited to be here and represent all of Joplin High School. The reason I came back to Joplin was that primarily was because my mom has heart issues. My stepdad has dementia, and so for me, it was an opportunity to get back and kind of keep closer eye on them, tabs on them, and be an active part of their life versus being someone 300 miles away. And then also just everything happened very quickly. I don't know if I'd use the word divine or not, but a lot of things happened in succession, bam, 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 on top of each other. I put my house on the market. It sold in a week. I saw this job posting. I applied for it, interviewed, got hired very quickly as well. And so it just seemed like the universe was speaking to me that, hey, this is probably the right move for you, and maybe that's something you should consider. And I've been super excited about since making that decision. I want to establish that we have a positive and we have a cool environment here where there are good things going on each and every day, and I want people to see that. And sometimes we get caught up in our own little bubble, and we don't actually step outside that bubble to see other things that are taking place. Sometimes we have a tendency to get bogged down in negatives or to think less about ourselves, self-esteem issues, especially as a teenager. And so I just want to be a reminder that, hey, there's something really awesome about you, that you have strengths and different skill sets that others don't necessarily have, and that you have worth. And so even something as simple as the handshake, I shake hands and have that connection. To me, I do that for two reasons. One is I'm trying to establish that, we're fellow human beings. I can look you in the eye, I can shake hands, have that moment of connection with you, and let you know that I'm here to support you and be an ally for you. And then two, I think about graduation, and it is like the last act you do as you walk across the stage is you'll shake my hand and we'll take a photo. And so, if anything, consider it graduation practice. We want every student in the May of their senior year at Missouri Southern to walk across the stage, go through the ceremony, and graduate high school and be able to move on to bigger and better things than Joplin High School. And so, it's just little things.
Dr. Hopper is working to make a better relationship with the students and everyone else here at JHS. He's planning to be here and taking pictures and sending emails, so everyone here at JHS is connected. He cares about us, and he's looking forward to the day where we walk across the MSHQ stage, shakes our hands, and gives us our diploma, leading us on to what our future might hold. Reporting for JHD, I'm Zoe Baker.
Thanks, Zoe.
Key Club will have their first meeting on September 6th at 7:45 a.m. in D301. Come and have a donut and do some good.
If you haven't gotten a parking pass yet, remember to get those as soon as possible. New books have been arriving at the JHS library all summer long. Dozens of new titles have been added. Stop by and check them out. The library is open Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. and during lunch as well.
Let's take a look at one of our students who has overcome obstacles and has made some impressive achievements.
School has finally started once again. Classes begin their hard days of work and sports are coming back in season. With the softball season fast approaching, everyone is preparing themselves for the games ahead. But for Asia Huffman, it would be quite different for her this time around.
I started loving softball whenever I was basically little. I've played ever since t-ball. What made me want to join the softball team here at the high school is I would watch them throughout my middle school years, and we didn't have a middle school team, so I'd always have to play like community teams, and I was excited to join an actual school program.
After Asia's sophomore year, she was given the news that she was diagnosed with a blood cancer called myeloproliferative neoplasm disorder.
I took the news that I couldn't play softball kind of rough because that was kind of like my sports were basically my life, and I had to find something else to fill my time. I was diagnosed with it the last month of the last school year, and this summer I wasn't able to do anything. So that kind of helped me realize that I'm not going to be able to play sports. Yeah, I'm glad that I became manager because I feel like I'm still a part of the team and I can still help in a way.
After a while of not being able to play, the softball team was able to give her the title of softball manager. While going through her struggles, Miss Prater was able to help her continue her love of softball.
I restarted my love for softball. Actually started playing when I was 5. My brothers played baseball, and so I kind of followed suit. I started playing baseball first, and then it kind of went from there. But when it came to playing ball, I played in college and throughout high school, and I actually got to play for Team USA, and it just kind of solidified the fact that I wanted to coach. What was awful was I actually didn't hear it from Asia. I heard it from my assistant coach, Amanda Smith, and I also heard it a little bit from my students, because by the time that I got the information, Asia was already in Kansas City. It was a bit of a shock, but it was also a relief in an odd way. For the last year, knowing Asia, I'd watched her suffer and feel terrible 100% of the time. And it was really frustrating for all parties involved, because, especially for her and her family, knowing that they didn't have an answer to what was going on. They finally figured out what it was. It was a relief to me to know that now we can finally help her to feel comfortable and help her to feel happy. I was so happy to have Asia become our manager. We have 2 other managers and they're all wonderful, but Asia is kind of special to us because she did play for us, and she also played basketball. I know she's also going to be managing the basketball team. And we know she loves these sports that she played, and it's a joy to have her around. She's such a nice person, and the girls love her. And so she kind of boosts morale a little bit when she's in the dugout with us. So we love having her there. Asia has our 100% support in anything she does. That comes from coaching staff all the way down to our freshmen who are just now getting to know her. We love Asia, and we love having her there, and She is supported by everyone in her life right now.
Now that she was given the title as JHS softball manager, she was finally able to be part of the team once again. I'm Sophia Good reporting for JHD.
Thanks, Sophia.
All young men and women interested in wrestling this year should attend the meeting scheduled for August 30th, the last 15 minutes of transition in Kaminsky Gym. Are you interested in cosplay? A new cosplay club is now part of JHS. See Mr. Keskamethi for more details.
Each year, JHS gets the opportunity to host foreign exchange students from across the world. Urel Cepeda brings us a closer look at that experience.
JHS has gotten a lot of new students this year, and it can be difficult to keep up with every one of them. Some students aren't aware of the foreign exchange students that have studied abroad here.
I am Shunnosuke Hatanaka. You can call me Shun, and I'm from Japan. I belong to the organization called AFS, and then I came here to study abroad for 1 year.
The way the students, the exchange students participate in the education system here in the United States is they arrive a couple days before school starts and get enrolled. They've already been accepted by the school and by the principal to come to this school. And so they have a counselor just like all the other students do and go in and choose their classes. And they try to fit according to what they've already taken in their home country so that they are participating just like the other students in the American system. And that's part of why they are here, is so that they can have that experience of a normal American high school student. So they participate, they take electives, they participate in extracurricular activities, and try to do just as much as they absolutely can in their 10.5 months here.
One of the things that I like about JHS is that you have more varieties of learning, and you have a lot of things that you can do. JHS was very different than my school in Japan in the way of the size of the school. The bad thing is that school is really big and there are a lot of classes in this school, so sometimes it makes me confusing to go to the next class. And also, the style of learning is very different. Students have more freedom to learn many stuff. Also, you have really good environment to study, as well as doing some activities and sports. I would like to join the baseball team in the JHS if I have time. I played baseball since I was 8 years old, and then I moved to Hong Kong for 4 years when I was 10 years old, and then I played there too. So it's been a lot of time since I started to play baseball. One of the things that I felt the difference between Japan and the United States is the size of the food. It is pretty big and also greasy. Yeah, it takes a lot of time for me to adapt into the US food. On the other hand, the things that I dislike would be, I don't know. I love to try many things, so I'm not sure about that.
One thing that I think is really important for American students to understand about exchange students is that they do just have this 1 year here. So the more experiences they can get, the better. So it's always really nice if the American students introduce themselves to the foreign exchange students, and invite them to get involved in whatever activities they're doing so that they can have the best experience possible. And also just to ask the foreign exchange students questions so that they can learn about another culture. There's so many of us here in America who don't get to go travel to all these different countries, and so it's a great way to learn about what life is like as a teenager in another country. So the foreign exchange students always welcome questions and enjoy conversations with students. So I think it's great for American students to take the opportunity to have that experience too.
This is JHS Weekly. I'm Urel Cepeda.
Thanks, Urel.
Remember to come to the football game tomorrow against Webb City, and remember to check your email.
This has been JHS Weekly. Have a great week.